Are you sure that your career is future proof? Well, I'm about to share with you of several frameworks that are used one by companies to make sure that they future proof their businesses, and also a system for you to think about the same way that executives are paid millions of dollars a year to think this way. I want you to apply it to yourself. So the first is the STAR framework, okay? And this is a system that I've created that where it's an acronym for STAR, the STAR method. And I like to do this in order to make it simple for you to remember, okay? One is you're future-proofing your career if you if you are building skills that are compounding, not just for your current job, but for the next job, and skills that will still matter in the next 3 years. You may need to unlearn some things that are outdated. This is sometimes just as important as learning. Make sure you check out my other podcast on this topic specifically, on learning. Am I consistently stretching or staying in my comfort zone? Have I become a specialist in something that will be needed for the rest of my career? With AI, maybe not, right? While you deliver on today, you must be looking at the horizon for tomorrow, identifying those gaps and working on those skills. The T stands for ties that open doors. I always say results capital as well as relationship capital are just as important to stay in the business and to even future-proof your business, right? Ties that open doors, the strategic relationships, right? How opportunities move today, how you get information. I also have an entire podcast that is all around strategic networking, and I hope you check that out. The A is for anticipation. Look, don't wait for change to force you to adapt. Start preparing before you have to. There is this one quote by Andy Grove, the former CEO of Intel, that said that only the paranoid survive, okay? What he meant in plain language was not about paranoia and fear or anxiety. I'm certainly not advocating for that, but more about strategic vigilance, always scanning for change, never assuming that success is permanent, preparing for disruption before it happens, staying curious and slightly uncomfortable. And the last letter is about relevance. The new norm that we are living in the AI revolution, and it's only going to get more intense, is volatility and change and adaptation. Your value has to evolve as the world does. Accept that this is a reality. We may have lived in a time where things went slower, change wasn't as constant or as quick as it was. The truth is most businesses today are operating like that and are doing constant what they call horizon scanning or future proofing their companies, and you should be doing the same for yourself. Okay? So while survival protects the present, STAR is about building the future. So the real question is, are you working hard or building what you need to become next? If you like this topic, you can learn more about how to overcome and thrive instead of just survive by listening to my podcasts or my Substack, the Tag Collab. And then you can also find additional frameworks and worksheets that I provide on Substack and Instagram and LinkedIn. Just look for Terry Arvizu Gonzalez or the Tag Collab.